Hey everyone, welcome back to Haunt After Hours, where we discuss all things haunt related, the work, chaos, and fun that go on behind the scenes in the haunt industry. I'm Heartless Heather. I'm here with Nanny Janny.
Hey, y'all.
Big Ant.
Hi, everybody.
Travis with the T.
Hello.
And Alicia, the gatekeeper Regalo. Say hi, Alicia.
You got to say something.
She is a ticket taker at the Ranch of Horror. So we're gonna interview her just a little bit at the end of the show. First and foremost, we want to introduce our guest of honor tonight, Matthew Tucker. Matthew is with Haunt Seekers, and it is a nationally recognized haunt review organization, right?
Yes.
You
And
get
we're
it all out?
gonna do you want to share with us? Yeah, I think so. Do you want to share with us a little bit about what you do?
Yes, I would be glad to. So, Haunt Seekers, it is our mission to review haunted attractions nationwide. We work alongside the haunted house owners when we go to do the reviews. And one of our new things is we go and set up at the haunts. We have a 20-foot booth that we promote with, and there are sponsorship opportunities and partnership opportunities available to partner with Haunt Seekers.
That's actually how we came to get in contact with you, is because you're set up at Mountain Mayhem in Tennessee, and we went we're not haunting this year. I'm in Tennessee, and so we found a haunt in Tennessee and went and checked them out. And who's the gal that you guys have? I'm so sorry. Is it Robin? Is that her name?
Yes, Robin, she's
Yeah.
one of my paranormal tour guides.
Yeah, that's how we met up with how we got connected with Haunt Seekers, is talking to Angie and meeting up with Robin. And I'm really got a lot of questions for you about the paranormal side, but before we get into all that, Big Ant, will you share with us your boo of the week?
Yes, I can. So, I heard today that that Elon Musk, he signed his deal. He is officially the world's first trillionaire. Hey, I'm
I thought
happy for
somebody
him.
just
That's good.
replaced him as being the richest man.
Well, not anymore. Okay. He obviously he doesn't have the money yet, but it's part of the package that he signed. And anyways, he got me looking, because he celebrated by dancing with one of his robots and showing that the robots had no cables, no cords. And I had heard about this other company, and I'm trying to find it here. It's called X. They're out of Palo Alto, California as well. They have it's not on the market yet, but they're working on it. And if those of you who like the YouTube videos, check them out. It's called NEO Home Robot. Excuse me. NEO Home Robot, and it's designed to take care of household chores. So it is an actual robot, and the funny thing is it's human-like, but it looks like it's in a costume. It's almost has a cloth exterior to it, and it's really freaky looking. Take a time and YouTube this, because it's worth looking at. But it is designed to take care of your household chores. And
Yes.
so it'll wash your dishes and vacuum your floors and, do all the things that nobody likes to do around the house. And anyways, I thought that was kind of interesting. So I just looking through the notes that came up with it. The initial price of this thing is going to be $20,000. Now I'm thinking to myself, originally I'm thinking that's quite a bit of money for a robot to take care of stuff that I just don't want to do. But you know what? If you're a haunt owner and this thing can actually handle one of your cast members, it'll pay for itself really quickly. The problem with this, though, is it's not just the $20,000 foot tag. It is also a $500 a month prescription.
Oh, geez.
Yeah,
Subscription. What do you mean? I have a Tesla, and my Tesla subscription, if I want the full everything, is $100 a month.
Well,
So why are people paying $500 a month?
nobody's paying. Well, does your Tesla
do your
mop your
dishes
floors?
and-
Does it do your
No.
dishes? Will it do your laundry?
Will it make your kids breakfast?
Will you
No.
pay $500 a
The
month? for
neatest
somebody
thing
to
I've
do it
seen
for
your
you?
Tesla do is look like it's going to fly away while it's sitting there playing music all over.
Yeah, true.
Anyways, I thought that was kind of a neat little tidbit of information to bring up tonight. It's not really a boo story, but I just thought it was kind of interesting.
Yeah,
And
we could be
who knows,
replacing.
eventually it may very well be. What's that?
Yeah, it definitely is going to start blowing like animatronics that we know now out of the water
Right.
eventually. If these,
Okay, I have to interrupt right here. Let me just tell you, we wanted to bring Contagion back all season, but we only did the last weekend for insurance purposes. And,
Contagion
normally,
is your high-speed paintball attraction.
Yes.
You put paintball on the back of the truck, and you have, like, a drill sergeant that takes you out, and your objective is to kill the zombies and deliver
Real
care
life good fun.
packages.
You got it. You've done it a time or two. But
Yeah, but I wanna make sure
you,
everybody knows.
we hire zombies, real live dead zombies, teenagers, and that's really what they are. And we pay all our cast members, and sometimes our zombie, that's $10,000 for the month that we're paying zombies. Well, I didn't get robots, but I found these blow up dolls
Goodness,
for
I've seen those blow
$14.
up dolls. I was thinking, what kind of show are you guys putting on when I like,
Hey,
At
goodness.
first, I was telling them,
well,
you guys
once
should.
we were able to pull Dave off of one of them because he was so
Yeah.
attracted to the painted toes.
But listen, before it wasn't a robot that did everything for you. But for $14 for the season,
You dressed up a blow up
I,
doll
I put
and
air compressor to them. And instead of having to go find, because at first we were going to make more scarecrows and put the zombie mask and stuff on them, but I put the air compressor to him. I was like, Dave, look, this will work. And he got all excited, and we blew up 10 plastic dolls. And Alicia and Sarah dressed them, and they put them out in the field, and people shot at them. Only one person asked, "Hey, where's the real life dead zombies at?" And
yeah.
Dave's at, they're
Oh
out there running
goodness. So
around somewhere.
Matthew, I gotta ask,
We
as a
went to
haunt
footage when he found them.
reviewer, what do you think going to a haunt where you're shooting blow up dolls instead of zombies?
I've never seen one in my life.
I'm telling
Let me
you.
just tell you, the cast that we have, if you know Sober Dave, and Sober Dave plays into it because, he sounds like he's an alcoholic going through, and it just worked for us this
Definitely
season.
not.
And it saved us a lot of money, and people got a kick out of
Yeah, a
it.
lot
And
of
Well, one thing we
payroll.
did
shut
find
people up.
out was that they didn't have to be live out there. I mean, obviously the live aspect of the haunt is more exciting, but it on that particular attraction, they didn't have to have. They were just
Shoot.
happy to be shooting at something. We gave them a target to shoot at, and next year we'll figure out how to maybe get some targets to spin or to move around or actually do something when they hit it. Maybe lights go off or whatever, and kind of like a shooting gallery aspect.
Right.
And
And the challenge we were having was our kids that were out there, the young men that were out there and women that were out there, sometimes they did act like robots that malfunctioned, and they would just like not move, be froze for a little bit, or hide out, or go in for maintenance issues and not come back out. For us, I didn't have to pay the $20,000 and the $500 maintenance, $14. So I don't think I'll be paying $20,000 for a robot soon, since I just
I'm gonna
discovered these
tell you.
plastic.
So when I first heard about the Tesla robot, I don't know if it's Tesla, but Elon's robots, I heard that they were going to be 30,000. I know that this one that's coming out at, when you said 20,000 for this knockoff, or I don't know if it's a knockoff, they probably for coming out first, it sounds like, but I was thinking 30,000 sounded steep. So when I heard 20,000, I was like, I might be able to do that. Like that
It's
doesn't
gonna
sound that
fold my
bad.
laundry for these 4 kids.
I mean, obviously it's not pocket change, but I mean, I could probably not eat out
So
for a year to afford my robot.
so can it make your kids breakfast, get them up for school, make the breakfast, and then drive them to school in the Tesla too? You would think it would all go hand in hand.
Right.
It'd be like the Jetsons.
It sounds like we're not having to do nothing. You just get robots and blow up dolls, and you don't need women at all anymore.
I'm
Goodness.
just saying, for $20,000, that seems steep, but realistically, you get a few of them. The bad part is that you have to spend $500 a month for each one in
Yeah,
order
that
for it
does
to
sound a little
activate.
bit
And
crazy.
Yeah, but
it is very
you
steep.
tell
So
me I
that's
spend more than that each month. So,
yeah.
No,
really?
because even if you had a cleaning lady come in, you're probably paying that, and they're coming twice a week. Or I mean, not twice a week, twice a month. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's probably true. I mean, if you can afford it, it sounds like it's going to be a nifty little gadget to have around.
Yeah,
That's exciting. I'm really excited about that. I want to be like one of the first
it
ones
is.
to get something like that. All right, Matthew.
Well, I'll send you
So
the link.
let's talk
Yeah,
about
they're
haunt.
actually taking orders,
Yes, I know.
right?
I want on it. I don't know if I can get Chris on board. Well, he's a tech person, so maybe he'll love that, but I don't know that
There
he
you
likes the
go.
payments that come with it. All right, Matthew, let's talk about Haunt Seekers. So how did Haunt Seekers come to life? Share with us how you got involved, how you got it started.
So it all started, first of all, everybody, has where they came from. I started as a scare actor just like everybody else. Worked at Arbortown Asylum in Arbortown, Tennessee during 2014 and 2015. After that, I went to Deadland Screen Park, which is no longer in operation. This was their last season. I was there in 2016, left in 2017, started Haunt Seekers. It was more or less a father son project. My dad got me into haunts. He used to do just for fun charity haunts in the backyard for the family and friends to come see. I kind of fell in love with what he was doing, and I kind of started doing my own thing. I started buying black plastic and finding pilots and getting black lights at Walmart and things like that.
It's funny that we make fun of that sometimes on
I'm
the
so sorry I lost
on like
internet.
Haunters Hangout and stuff like that. But it's really how everyone's. I mean, that's why we make fun of it,
That's
because
awesome.
it's how everyone starts.
You can say that's how we started. That's how we still do things.
Yeah.
Right. And so my dad, it was his idea to start what he was going to call Thrill Seekers of Tennessee. And I didn't like the name because I just felt like too many people use thrill in their brand. So I kind of thought about it for 2 weeks, kind of sat on it, and I looked at him. I was like, you know what? Let's call it Haunt Seekers of Tennessee. Initially, it was a concept until 2019. 2019 is when it actually took off as a business. And that's also when we landed several haunted house partnerships our first year doing the reviews, and it was crazy. Since 2019, I probably haven't sat down, to be honest with you. It's been ongoing process. Been as far as San Antonio, Texas, to run and operate a haunted attraction. I've been to Missouri. I actually, I don't know if you guys know where Short Mountain Distillery is located at.
What state is that? Is it here in Tennessee? No, I've never.
It's in the Woodbury area,
Okay.
and that's where we started our paranormal tours. Because I know the owner, Billy Kaufman. He's the president and the CEO of Short Mountain Distillery, and we kind of just started talking. And he wanted somebody to come in and make a business out of the paranormal tours. So I came in and brought my team, and we really knocked it out. And then we kind of outgrew that location and started going national with everything we're doing now. There's a lot involved. People think, Haunt Seekers is just a review team. We do a lot more than reviews. We do a whole lot. We have an online shop. We do that year round. We make and we press shirts. We build websites for haunted houses. Like I said, we go and set up at these haunts. We have a 20-foot booth. We have a huge 10 by 10 backdrop that we display at these haunts. We have props. We have custom coffins. Everything
Yeah,
everything
what
that
you said?
comes to it is
What
the
about
detail is not
coffins?
missed.
They
I
said
was telling you that we have custom made coffins that we bring to some of the shows that we go to and set
Custom-made.
up.
Now, do they use those as attractions, or are you like selling coffins?
No, these are just for display.
Oh, just display. That's cool.
We actually have a 18th century Victorian coffin. It's a children's coffin that I turn into a animatronic. It has a zombie that pops out of it, and we only got to use it one time this season because it's so damn heavy, and I don't feel like bringing it to all these places.
Yeah.
Because this season alone, we went to probably 18 haunts in 6 different states, so it was a crazy season. But that's pretty much where Haunt Seeker started from, and that's where I'm at now. It's just scaling up every season we go. Just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
That's so you've seen a lot of haunts this season. What is something that like stands out? What is one of your favorite memories from this season in the haunt industry? Something you've
What
seen?
stands out to me is we went to a haunt in Ashland, Virginia, and it's called a Red Vein Haunted House. This haunted house is very unique because they have their own. I know every haunted house has their own look and has their own vibe and everything, but this haunt just stands out from the rest because they don't use heavy metal. They have like a custom. I can't really explain it. It's like a custom theme song that they have at their entrance. And I was talking to my business partner. It kind of sounds like. Have you ever seen the Rob Zombie remake of Halloween 2?
I have not, but we have a director, Gary, that's usually on the show that probably would have been all over that question.
Yeah,
He's gonna be sad he missed.
Well, you ever watch that movie? They have like it kind of sounds like that a little bit, but they have their own little spark to it. It just sounds really cool, and it's just like this is Red Vein. This is what they're about.
Yeah.
And the detail was mind blowing. Their actors knocked it out of the water. I mean, it was totally insane. I don't think I've ever been to a haunt that good, to be honest with you.
We went to a really good haunted house last season, and I mean, it was a haunted cornfield, and it was in Central California, and it was one of the best. We've gone to big ones in New Orleans and Baton Rouge that are supposed to be like the top of the top of the top. And this one I thought the detail in it was one of the best I had seen, and it was long, long. I like if you're paying $30, and it's really nice when you have a long
Right.
attraction versus.
Absolutely, I get that.
So, what do you think makes the haunt attractions? Do you think the actors, the atmosphere, the storytelling, or a mix of the three?
Definitely a mix of the three, but definitely actors is definitely the top because you have to have good actors to run your haunt. You can have all these fancy animatronics all you want and all these beautiful scenes, But if you don't have actors to set it off, you're not doing anything.
Yeah. Very, very much in agreement with that. Tony Big Ant, he said he is big on the animatronics. He's like, we can do more animatronics and get less
No,
actors.
that is
And
Yeah,
I've
not
always
true,
been a
Heather.
yeah, that is not true. I'm the actual
Definitely not the way to
said
go.
that you got to listen to your customer base and you got to have the live action. What I have said in the past, so I'm going to set this record straight. What I have said in the past is that you implement the animatronics along with your actors so you can pay less actors and have more of the
yeah,
haunt. The animatronics can make a room. In other words, like our vortex tunnel, the vortex tunnel has nobody in it. It needs nobody in it. It is 100% its own attraction. That's it. The
or it's on
mini haunts
scene.
have the compression tunnels. These are the type of animatronics that make a room. You don't need staff in those rooms. And that's the type of
Yeah.
thing that I recommend to you think outside the box and you develop animatronics like that, or talent proof rooms like that that you don't have to pay somebody to be in, and it extends your haunt that much farther. So there's a difference between not wanting the actors. I've never said I didn't want actors. I just want the animatronics to go along with it is my biggest point. We don't have to have an actor in every single.
Adding them too. I think if you have the animatronics well placed, they can do good, but we definitely can't. You need the actor. We've gone through haunts that are just animatronics, and it's like, oh, okay, like it's not. You definitely need the live actor, and also I think you can have like almost nothing, and if you have good actors, you don't even really need the good scenes. Like the good actors can help make it the room, you know.
Right.
But
And that's
of
perfect.
course, I mean,
When
of
we took
course, everyone wants the budget to have the big scenes and stuff, the Disney World, scenes. I think a lot of low budget hunts don't have that, and they just have really good actors, and it makes it.
we went through a really high budget haunt, you and we went with a couple of your kids, and one of them was 3 years old at the time, and they had perfect stone walls and um, uh, gremlins and everything else in there, and you could tell that they put thousands of dollars into their props and the
Yeah,
walls and the
tens of
scenes.
thousands of dollars for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah,
And the 3-year-old comes out like, that's and it's because they
yeah.
didn't have the actors there to scare her. He was like, "What was
Yeah.
that?" So,
He was
yeah,
walking
you
through.
have to
I'll
have
never
that.
forget that review. Well, you might need to talk to Creepy Cason to be a haunt reviewer for you. But he was walking through them, and now he's older and he's very well spoken and stuff. But he's walking through and he's like, there definitely needs to be a jump scare here. I think an actor's supposed to be hiding there. He's like, they must all be on their breaks. Like it was just a slow night. I think they just didn't cast for that
Right.
night, or
But
maybe
it was
people were
funny
calling in.
because he was only 3, and, like, we were impressed. We were watching, we were looking at everything that they had set up in their scenes, like, wow, this is they have a good budget for this. And he was paying attention to, there's nothing scaring me.
He wanted to be scared. Well, speaking of taking a baby through a haunt and wanting him to be scared, we took through Mountain Mayhem, Matthew, we took our 3-year-old, but our kids are raised in this, so it's different. Like, I wouldn't recommend everyone take their 3-year-old through a haunted house, but when your kids have been raised in it, it's just different. Like I wasn't worried about him. He's been through the fog scene before a million times. He helped us set up our fog scene in our room, our swamp scene. And so I wasn't worried about it. But when somebody jumped up from the fog, it did scare him and he did start crying, and I felt awful for the actor there. She didn't break character, she stayed in character, which is what I would have wanted her to do as a haunt owner.
Right.
But she did ease back, like, she didn't continue to scare him, but she did radio to Angie and was like, I made the baby cry. And Angie's like, I'm so sorry. No, we took the 3-year-old through the haunt. You don't need to apologize. He was
Right.
fine. Within seconds, he was fine. And, he gets that it was just acting. But if we had at our Louisiana location, our haunt in Louisiana, we got a review that was on Google that their kid had nightmares. I can't believe that you guys are letting kids go through this. And we don't let kids go through it. We tell everybody it's parents' discretion. If you want to send your kid better than we do, if you want to send your kid through, you're welcome to. If you don't, you can go through, see if it's worth it, or see if they are going to be able to handle it, and then go through again with them. We've always given that kind of option. She went on the hayride with her child, and apparently he had nightmares for a few days. And she's saying, like, this is the worst thing in the world. And to us, we're like, we're haunters. That's the best review you could give us. That's not a
We
1-star
sure
worthy
do.
review. We need to let everybody know we give you nightmares. But again, I do feel bad. Like, we're not trying to scare little kids, but you're bringing your little kids into the attractions. Like, so, Matthew, when you're reviewing haunts, what are some of the biggest mistakes or missed opportunities that you see haunts work doing? Do you notice any missed opportunities or mistakes?
Or some things
I
that
will
make you
say a lot of
cringe.
haunts in the Tennessee area
Yeah.
use a lot of black plastic, and
Yeah.
some of these are multi-million-dollar haunts. And I'm like, why not put the money in to make it look its best? And there's a few haunts I could call out right now, but I'm not gonna put them out like that. But it makes me cringe when I walk through a haunt and see plastic on 2x4s.
That's how we
Very, very much
started
so.
ours was plastic on 2 by 4, so but I get it. W we the f one year we had a fire marshal situation and we have always had the thick retardant plastic,
Right.
so it's always been safe and all of that, and thank goodness that we did because one year we did have a fire marshal situation and we were very thankful for that plastic and, we ended up stop using the 2 by 4s, we were just going down to Lowe's and getting PVC pipes because it was quicker and easier to because we had to rebuild 3 different times that year.
Right.
But, um, I think that was the last year that we had a whole haunt of the black we didn't get docked ever for the plastic, it was but yeah, I do agree with that, it kinda takes away from it, but then I seen on the news and I see these haunts that have the black plastic, and it kind of makes me feel like, "Oh, okay, like, we're not" as a haunter myself, like, I'm not so far behind in the industry, people are because we go through these high-tech fancy ones, and then you feel like, "Man, we're just nothing." But then I see a lot of other haunts are doing it, they'll with just what they have. Our property, we're thankful we are able to, like, plant the corn, and they go through, like, a cornfield and stuff now. Now they go through the barn, and we do have, like, pallet walls and stuff. What do you think about pallet walls?
I love pallet walls. I actually just got done finishing a build here at Mountain Mayhem. I don't know if you guys saw pictures of it or not, but we've been if you guys went on the paranormal tour, right?
I
Back in October.
So we did have tickets, but I had other people's kids with me, and I felt nervous taking them on that kind of attraction.
Well, did you see the building sitting back there with no paint on it?
Yeah.
Well, it looks like a ghost town now. I completely made it. I basically made it 20 feet tall by 60 feet wide. It has an entrance and an exit to it, and we've been putting long hours to making this thing the best we can make it for next season. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's
What is it gonna is it a separate attraction, or are you just a cornfield going through that, or
no, this is totally separate. This is Haunt Seeker's attraction.
well, it's
This is
gonna
the
be a
tours,
like a
and
room?
we take it down to the cave. Basically, what they do is they go in that door. It's pitch black. After that, you're submerged into a cave.
I don't Have you ever had something happen on an investigation that truly made you second guess, staying there or like, "Oh, I don't know if I wanna continue this," or
Well, when we used to do the tours at Short Mountain Distillery, I never forget it. I had one of my cousins in on the group. We had the ghost spirit box out. And we was playing with it, and whatever this was, it literally said Halloween tattoo, and my cousin had a Halloween tattoo on his shoulder,
uh, I don't like
and he got pretty freaked out about it. And I was like, dude, how cool is that? You can't fake that.
I don't like that, like, I said this the last episode too, but we went on one and it was like the first stop we made, it was our tour stopped at a few different places. We stopped at an old abandoned church and it was like wanting to communicate with me and I got really nervous. And then we go to the cemetery and it was like calling out Heather and I got the box was calling
Well,
and I was like, "No, I don't want that. I don't want to bring nothing home with me." But yeah, I don't so did he stay through it? Did he stick it out through the rest of the investigation, or does that kinda put a stop to it?
he stuck it out, but he went back after that though.
Yeah. That's how I feel like I would be 100%. Travis, you do pretty good with the paranormal investigations. What do you think? Would you go on another paranormal investigation?
Yeah, I
Yes.
don't mind them. I
Mm.
enjoy them. I think they're interesting and fun. And to tell you the truth, my favorite part of them, I like history. So I like going and hearing the history of the stories. We do one in downtown
Of the
Turlock, and we go through all the buildings on Main Street. And the first floors have all been redone, but the second floors are like stepping back into the 40s and 50s. I mean, some of the buildings still have the gas lamps in them on the second story. So it's a lot of those buildings. One of them was and on Main Street was an old hospital, and you still see the doctor's offices and like the old equipment, and it's all still up there untouched. The public, it's been there for 70 years. Public doesn't go through there, so it's like a step back in time. And then they do a history tour. They explain, the local history, and that's why I fall in love with it. And then you hear the stories of the shopkeepers or the owners or the whatever spirits may be there, and the stories of people's interactions with them. And I just I love listening to the storytelling. And then when you you pair it with the equipment, and that just makes it more of the thrill and the hunt and learning how to use the equipment and just the
I
whole paranormal activity, the extra realm. That's the unknown. It's
yeah.
scary
I
and
have never
fun.
done the downtown Turlock one, but I have been in the office and Miss Molly used to be on the show and she'll be back on the show eventually, but she used to have an office in downtown Turlock. And we were sitting there talking about her coming to Jesus moment, which is for another show. But as we're talking about it, I'm not kidding you. This chair that it would take two people to move, moved across the room, and and like you heard it scrape. I don't know. After that, I was
Yeah,
like,
that
okay,
that
well,
building.
we're not. And then
Go ahead, Heather.
no, I'm sorry. I think the audio is pausing, but that building has a lot of activity, is what I heard from the one of the shop owners in that
Yeah,
building.
that's
Was like,
the
oh
that's
yeah.
the definitely the most haunted building in the downtown Turlock, as with the most stories. That building also is sublet to like I think there's like 40 different offices in there, if not more, between the two stories. And there's that building even has two basements in it, and one of them looks like an old castle basement. It's just creepy, dungeony feeling. As soon as you open the door, you're like, yeah, I don't think I want to go down there.
I
But
don't like
they
it.
have a lot of stories about that building. Well, I got a
So
question for
Matthew,
you though, Matthew. I just want to. I know
Yes.
you said you've been doing this since 2018. Did I hear that right? So 7 years? Is it
I started in 2017.
2017? So it's 8 years or so. In the 8 years, and I know you've been haunting before that. Now that you guys review haunts, I'm sorry to jump back a category, but I just want to know what did I got a couple of staged questions here on it. What it was your favorite thing maybe that was introduced to the haunt industry, the trend that you like really love the most? What do you see the trend is going to with the haunts that you do? Like what is the new thing? When we first got in, it kind of seemed like we were towards the middle to end of paintball. And out of all time, what was your favorite trends of being into the thing? Was something that you kind of missed that's nostalgic that might be something that's missing from some of the current haunts?
One of the things that I really enjoy when I go to haunts, especially the ones in Tennessee, is the big black mazes that you get lost in. Them are to me like what makes the haunted attraction really fun, because I enjoy being in the dark and getting lost and not know where I'm going to end up at.
Yeah. So explain that to me though. They just put you in like a pitch black maze. You can't see where you're going. You just gotta feel your way out.
Yeah, so there was a haunt. You guys may have heard of it. I'm sure Heather might have heard of it before they closed. So there was a haunt down in Antioch, Tennessee, called Haunted Hill Nashville.
yeah, actually, I think we met them, Travis.
I
I think
I
they're
Yeah.
kid you not, they had the biggest, darkest maze I've ever been into. I mean, it took us probably 30 minutes to get out of that maze. And I actually had to get one of the actors like to help me get out of there because I didn't know where the heck I was going.
so they actually have like dead end spots. See, I've never been through one like that, except for like a little, maybe like little attractions or like a corn maze, where you
Right.
check in. But I've never been through like actual build maze.
Then another one is Bloody Acres Haunted Woods, and that's over in Henderson, Middle Tennessee. And they're like a family oriented haunt. They're not like some of these other haunts that are for teenagers and up. But they have a pretty decent maze over there too that I really liked. I don't know, something about the dark mazes. I just really like them. Like we went through another one on the haunt tour this season at Milltown Haunt in Virginia. I mean, the maze only lasted about maybe 5 minutes, but I was like, this is so cool. Like I just like being in the dark, not knowing where I'm gonna end up at. It's just I just love it. I mean, I always ask haunt owners, "Do you have a dark maze?" I
So
always ask.
we're gonna put that on our notes for next year. A dark
I did one
maze.
that I've been trying to recreate for a while, and we never get enough time to do it, or we could set up some partnerships, and we never get to follow through with it. But a long time ago, I went through one that was a chain link maze, and you could see the end, but it was it was probably like 100 by 100. I mean, it was pretty decent size, could be bigger, uh, but it was just a chain link maze, and it had some like lights and then some black lights and some strobe lights. And the way the strobe lights reacted with the chain link, the layers of it, you couldn't see. It was almost like a mirror maze and you just couldn't see where the path was and where you were supposed to go. And that was a real cool different one that I've seen. But the only thing with that is if you have someone who's sensitive to strobe lights, that's a terrible you're in it for a long
I almost
time.
think like if you're sensitive to strobe lights, the haunt attractions just probably should avoid, because it's hard to do
Yes,
some things
Sarah.
without. I mean, every haunt has strobe lights. I feel like. I mean,
And another thing that I really liked about a haunt that I've been to before, this is another haunt in Hendersonville. It's called Beast House. It's basically the money back haunt. So if you complete all the challenges, get your money back.
cool.
But they have what they call it's called the Beast Drop, and you basically jump off the building onto like an inflatable thing, so you don't hurt yourself. That's probably the first haunt that I seen was something like that, and I thought it was just the coolest thing ever that you could jump off the building onto that.
And
Someone
it's,
who's
like,
in the
legal? Do
special
you have to
effects
sign
industry.
contracts?
You actually no, not for that, but you have to sign a contract at the end because they make you eat, like, cockroaches and boiled
I
eggs,
love
like McKamey Manor type stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool. So have you been to, that we when my kids aren't able to make it to California or Louisiana where their haunts are, well, the Louisiana one's no longer in operation, but the California one is. They go to Defeated Creek Marina. They have a little haunt out there. They actually do a really good job. I just think the location is it's an advertising thing for them too because their show is really really good. And now they've been doing it for several years, but they just don't have the turnout that I think they need to keep to stay
Right.
afloat, you know? I think they're doing it now, but it's a hobby. It's not necessarily making anybody money, but they put on a good show. Have you ever been out there?
My dad actually, told me about it 'cause I've been traveling for the last 5 years, so I haven't really been in Tennessee,
Oh, yeah.
but every time a haunt pops up, he tells me about it. He's like, "You should go check this out."
Yeah, it's a good if you had time next season, I'd go. The guy who owns it or runs it, he's a partner, but his name's Tyler. They're really nice people that put it on, but I really just think it's a destination spot because you're going out in the middle of nowhere. It's in Carthage, Tennessee, at the marina.
Okay, yeah.
So, have you ever doing the paranormal investigations, like, has anything ever, like, stuck to you that I'm really curious about the paranormal investigations. I wanna do them so bad. I just don't want something to follow me home. Have you ever had any instances like that?
So I will tell you this, whenever I was doing Short Mountain Distillery paranormal tours, there's a few times where I would stay late even after my tour guides left, and I would get some freaky stuff to happen. Like, I was in the office one night, and I took a nap. I kinda took, like, a nap because I was tired that day, and I woke up at 3 o'clock on the dot with something knocking on the office door, and keep in mind that the property was locked, the gate was locked, no one had the keys except me, and, I'm like, "Well, no one's here. I'm the only one that's here." This knock was just so ominous, it just sounded so like it was trying to lure me out there. I mean, it gave me goosebumps. I didn't wanna walk out there, and I had a security camera. I was like, "Do I really wanna pull this up and see what's out there standing on the porch?" I don't think I will.
Yes, I feel that 100%. I don't know if it was I have shared before. When we first moved to Tennessee in this house that I'm in now, I didn't know a single soul that would be here. Like, I mean, my in-laws had my two older kids. It was just me and my baby at the time. I have another baby now, but and she was a year old, and for whatever reason, she was screaming and throwing a fit, and I was trying to soothe her, and I couldn't get her to calm down for any reason, she was just being a 1-year-old, and all of a sudden, there was a knock on my back door, and to be in my backyard, you have to go down a steep hill. To get to my back door, you have to go up a flight of stairs because our back door we have a back patio, but it's on second story. And so I'm like, who is in my backyard? Like, and I went out and around the front yard and down because I was afraid to open the back door, but I wanted to see. Nobody was there till this day. I have no idea. Never had. And now that I know people, I still don't have people knocking on my back door. So it's always been weird to me, like who. Janice has cameras set up. Now I do have
So let
cameras on
me
the
tell
outside
you,
and the inside. Yeah, Janice has cameras set up in the what we call the south wing, but it's our basement. We've remodeled into an apartment for her, and
Right.
I
she
catch
catches
them all
stuff
the
all
time
the
on
time, but I can't look at it or hear about it because it freaks me out.
yeah,
But I'm telling you, something
very
knocked on
active.
my door, and I don't know what it was.
It definitely makes you not wanna go out there, huh?
Well, I went out there. If it would have been nighttime, I don't think I would have. I think we would have went and gotten a hotel because it really scared me. Like who? And for a long time, I thought it was the neighbors next door. Now I'm friends with them, and they're like, "No, Heather, we never knocked on your back door." Like, but she thinks she's got a witch. Like, I've never heard this. Have you ever heard of I've always thought witches are people. Like, we people do witchy things, like, or witchcraft things. But I could have to get her on the show someday. Is convinced that there is a witch that lives in her attic. And I'm like, I don't think that's how that works. But you might have like a spirit that's living in your attic. But I don't know. It's a witch spirit. I'm like, okay.
That's pretty spooky. I mean, I would definitely I wouldn't like that too much.
Now, when we were talking to Angie last week, she said when there was some paranormal activity going on around one of the trucks, she had sent them with the Bible to go bless that area. Do you get like that do you feel like you need to bless areas, or do you just kind of roll with it? Nothing spooks you when it comes to the paranormal, or
So far out here at Mountain Mayhem, with our office, I haven't had any occurrences, like, of anything bad, but a few of the people that do come down here to help out said they saw a woman with a white dress, and I saw the same one walking across the porch in the,
You guys need to get video of that. Do you have video?
There supposedly is some trail cameras out there, and they haven't caught anything yet. But I did take a picture the other night when I was working on the front of the facade, and I did catch about 4 orbs floating around out there.
Yeah, let's
Janice gets
talk
a
about
lot of
those
orbs in
orbs. Do they
her
come in
house.
different colors? And have you decided what the colors mean? Because, like, some people really need to
Mm.
know.
See, the ones I took a picture of were all blue, so I don't know what that means. I mean, I will say this: I don't feel anything evil on this property. When I was at Short Mountain Distillery, I'll tell you this: I stayed sick.
Yeah.
I stayed sick. I knew something was there, and I could smell. Sometimes I could smell like a rotten, decaying type of smell, and my stomach would instantly drop. I would have a headache for no reason, and all my people they didn't want to be there. They did not want to be there after we closed.
And what color
They
did you
hated
see
it.
orbs there? What colors were they there?
We actually caught faces there.
Yeah.
If you log into the Haunt Seeker website, go under paranormal section. One of my tour guides caught an apparition. You can clearly see the face, the
Yeah.
eyes, and it looks like a woman. You can even see the collarbone.
Yeah.
You can
I'm
even see the dress. It's pretty
Yeah.
pretty creepy. It's
I'm gonna have to send you a link to one of the ones that we caught on video. Janice was walking out. We had a family entertainment center. We used to have a haunt in Louisiana. Hurricane Ida set on the property and just destroyed it. So it was time to move on. But
right.
we we were closing up
Follow
the
me.
party barn, and I was still in the restroom, but and she was walking out, and you can see her in the on the camera. She had told me, she's like, the next day she's like, can we look back when I was leaving? I feel like somebody was following me out, but I didn't want to say anything to you because I didn't want to scare you. So we pull up the camera. Sure as shit, you can see her. You can see where she kind of got scared, and she opened the door. And when she opened the door, the shadow followed her out, and there was nothing there to. It was the weirdest,
I
crazy.
opened the door
Wow.
good to see because I thought, okay, maybe she came out of the bathroom. She was behind me, or one of her kids were there. But I knew, I felt 100% knew that there was someone behind me. And I kind of like, oh, don't shut him in. And then I'm like, oh, nobody's there. Shut the door real quick and try to lock it. But yeah, when we went back and seen it on the like I felt it. And I don't usually get scared when this happens because it happens quite often. I think I just they're attracted to me for some reason. But this one I had a very uneasy feeling about. And then when Heather came out and came around, I was like, oh, should I say something? No. And then the next day, when we did check the cameras, you can clearly see something followed me out. The shadow, a darkness followed me out. You can see it. Really weird.
And that wasn't the first time that was the first time that we saved the recording, but right after we got our escape room trailers, you could see something went like it was like they whatever it was checking out the escape room trailers. Like, what are you guys doing to my property? So you
Oh, that's
see
cool.
them like go into one room and come out another room.
Right.
And that looked to be like it was a man. It was a man's build, a bigger build, and you could see him
It
walk.
was
And you see his hands like this, like it's like a shadow, but you see his hands look into the trailers.
It was their family dairy though that we turned
That's
into the
spooky.
party barn.
Mm.
So it was the old man's
That's spooky
legacy
right
was
there.
there. So I'm assuming it was him, an old Southern man that was not happy that his dairy was not there.
So, and this is
Have it up
probably
for sale to be turned into hospital goods.
yeah, yeah, big money there. This is probably not for this segment. I don't know, but I have asked several times, and I kind of want to know. And part of it scares me. I don't want to know. And I know that my grandma was into. She had more intuition about the paranormal, more paranormal. But when I see a yellow orb, I feel comfort in the yellow. In the black, I know death is coming. And if I see black in three, like three black orbs, I know that somebody around that area is going to pass soon. And it's happened where I've actually said to my husband or my mom, hey, this is what I seen, and it scares me. And then we realize, just after years of when you see it, and now it gets to the point where I don't even say anything to very many people because, I don't want to scare them or I don't want to be the freak or whatever. Black, I know that death is coming when there's three black orbs together. And yellow, for whatever reason, I haven't figured it out. It does bring me comfort. So I don't know if that's like somebody from my past or a grandmother or, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what that is. And any
What about blue?
So blue doesn't scare me either. Gray, black I know brings death. And nobody's taught me this. This is just what I've learned in the last 56 years. Because even as a young child, my parents would say I would see things like I had pet monsters and stuff. It's kind of a weird story. But
We were just actually, I was hoping that Matthew's partner there, because I told her we had done an episode on your imaginary friends, and she's like all about, like, she was telling me about people that she knew that had imaginary friends. And I
yeah,
was like, that's
yeah.
so funny. My
Like
mom has imaginary friends.
drop,
She still
drop
has
dead.
imaginary friends.
Yeah. Like drop dead Fred could have been made of my childhood life. But so blue, I'm really not that's one of those I just don't know. I'm not afraid of it, but it
Uh,
doesn't bring me the comfort like a yellow does. But a gray to me is like, stay away. I bless you with the blood of the lamb, go towards the light. And I don't even know if that's the correct things to
I
say. I
just
just remember one year,
ChatGPT'd it, so you guys have your talk, and I'll go over what
so
ChatGPT.
one year, some things were happening with this gray shadow in our house, and then we end up finding out after we moved out that somebody had committed suicide in the master bedroom closet. But, this gray would, like, float through the house every so often, and things were happening, and I went to talk to a priest, and he said, "You know, would you want us to come do an exorcism on the house?" And I'm like, "Well, that's weird, no," and I guess I should have, but, he said, "Well, you know, when you see it, just say, 'I bless you with the blood of the lamb, go towards the light,'" and and that's what I've come up with to say if something brings fear to me, but I can't say that blues brought me comfort or scared me either way. I don't know that I've really dealt with that yet.
Do you see a lot of
I
blue
will say
orbs?
this.
Yeah, but
So I'm
that's
gonna
just
tell you something that really
there's a
spooks me.
lot of blue around you, and I don't think it's bad. I don't think blue is bad. I think they're just watching, like observers.
Well, he's gonna tell us something that really spooks him. Let's hear it.
So my business partner Matthew Garrett is no longer with us. He was my partner at Short Mountain Distillery when we started the paranormal tours out there. He was good for about a year. The second year, he started getting sicker and sicker. He started making excuses, telling me he can't make it to the property, and I was like, "Well, what's going on? Like, you know what?" So he told me he's thrown up. He had a headache. So that's funny because I basically have the same stuff, and I'm ending up in the hospital every other weekend. Well, I had a few readings done, and I hate having I hate tarot cards, and I hate having these readings done. But there was two women that came into Haunt Seekers that was spot on. They told me that somebody close to you is about to pass away, and my business partner passed away literally 7 months later. But here's the kicker: he called me one night, and the pictures on Instagram. You can pull it up on the Haunt Seekers Unlimited Instagram. He took a picture of what looks like a short beast looking thing with horns and eyes, and it has like a tail and a beak. And he called me just, I mean, he's a big guy, you know, it takes a lot to make him cry. He was a police officer, you know, he was a bodybuilder. He's like, Tucker,
Matthew,
I'm
you still
scared.
there?
I don't know what to do, man. I
We're
really don't know
cliffhanging
what to
here,
do.
Matthew.
I was like, dude, do you have your protection stones on you? Do you have all your stuff? And he was like, yeah, I have all that. And he was just absolutely terrified him. He told me off camera this thing had green eyes. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, dude, get out of there. Like,
Good.
that ain't no good, whatever the hell it is. It ain't no damn good spirit, you know? And when he passed away, that's when I cut ties with Short Mountain Distillery because I just felt whatever was there killed him. Because I felt like, because he did bring a Luigi board out and I told him not to do it. And he passed away about 2 years later.
Yeah, that scares me too.
It's
Like I
hard.
said,
Like
I
you think that those Ouija boards are safe because they sold them at Toys R Us, but yeah,
Well, I think he opened up a portal
yeah.
that let
yeah,
some evil in and it got him. That's what I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
Even his family was like, Matthew, do you think that something caused this? I was like, yes, absolutely, 100%. Because I watched him as he got sicker and sicker. And every time, you know, I got sick, he just got, I mean, I left. I couldn't handle it no more.
Was there
I was
something in the building or on the property?
not here
Was
at
your
this property,
Right,
but at Short
right.
Mountain Distillery.
Yeah.
I will tell you this: before Hot Seekers did business with Billy Kaufman and Short Mountain Distillery, there was two other paranormal organizations that was working with them. They left and never came back. Is what I was told. They never came back. They dropped off the face of the earth. They never came back. I was like, now I know why they didn't come back. That's why I'm not coming back.
The land is just really haunted. So did he take a picture of this beast thing or he just described it to you? Oh, that's so creepy. Yeah. Ay, ay, ay. So what's next for Haunt Seekers? Are any upcoming investigations, collaborations, or big plans that we should keep an eye on?
So I do wanna announce some of our big partnerships this season. This is probably the biggest partnership in Haunt Seekers history. So our haunt tour, we span through 6 states this year. Woods of Terror in Greensboro, North Carolina is a very famous haunted attraction. We just signed a exclusive partnership deal with Bone Daddy, the owner of it. We're gonna be doing a lot of events in the near future with him. We're gonna be promoting. We're gonna be we actually have a banner that was just sent out there to be put on the property. He's gonna have us on the Midway next year. It's a really big deal to us because you know that's a top tier haunt,
Yeah.
and they've been open for over 35 years. So we look at it, you know, as you know, we're doing something. We're going somewhere. You know, it's definitely going in the right direction.
Love
And we
that for you. Bone
team up with,
Daddy, the owner, has he been the owner for 35 years?
from my understanding, he has been the owner, but I think it was passed down to him by his father, Eddie. I think it's Eddie McMillian McLaurin, I think is what his name is. But the place is top notch. If you guys ever have time to get out there and check it out, their Monster Midway is crazy. I mean, they had 7,000 people one night. Me
That's
and my
great.
team were swamped in that Midway. I mean, it was just totally insane.
Is it in South Carolina?
North Carolina, Greensboro.
I think my husband's stationed in South Carolina. He gets stationed so many places that I forget. But is Chris in South Carolina?
Who are you asking? Isn't he around there asking?
Where is? Yeah, he's got the kids up there. But yeah, I wish that it was closer. Then we could go to there.
I was wondering when you said that because my business partner is Chris. He's my VP.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like,
My husband is Chris, and he's in the Coast Guard. He's been in the Coast Guard for 20 years. But so he was in California. Now he's in Charleston. That's South Carolina, right? Yes, yes, yes. All right, Matthew, this has been awesome. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm not going to let you go just
Yeah.
yet because we got a little game we're going to play. But
Wait,
before
hold
we
on one
get into
second, Heather.
that,
Heather,
okay.
real
Yeah.
quick. Travis, you looked up what the blue orbs were. You never told us what the blue orbs.
I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
waiting
yeah.
for
Tell
my
us.
segue in.
Sorry.
So I was just on the orbs. It says ChatGPT says I'm just paraphrasing. While meaning can vary by belief system, here's a widely accepted overview of orb colors and their common symbolic interpretations. White or silver orbs, which may be in perhaps with your gray orbs, I'm not for sure, but it says meaning is purity, protection, spirit guides, and angels. Interpretation often seen as a positive sign of peaceful or divine energy. Many believe white orbs represent guardian spirits or high spiritual vibrations.
I agree with that because when I've been around people that are dying and they say, oh, like my mom, when she's seen her family coming, it was a white orb that was coming to like guide her over. So I'm going to agree with that. I don't know about Matthew, but
Blue orbs, I'm going to say that one for last. Green orbs, growth. The meaning is growth, nature, balance, and emotional healing. Symbolizes heart, energy, and healing, sometimes linked to spirits that want to comfort or nurture. Yellow or gold orbs, the meaning is wisdom, joy, or divine energy. Interpretation, gold or yellow is tied to higher consciousness and enlightenment, often considered a sign of positive, protective spiritual presence. Orange orbs seem like they're pretty similar with slight variations. Orange meaning creativity, vitality, and attraction, may indicate strong, active energy or spirit that brings encouragement and enthusiasm. Red orbs, meanings passions, strength, strong emotions. Interpretation represents powerful energy, sometimes protective, sometimes restless, can symbolize the spirit of someone with deep attachment or intense emotion. And I almost want to do a little more research on this later on to see if this is tied with like auras, the people who can
yeah,
see
I was thinking
auras
the
off
same.
of the purple orbs. That is tied with spirituality, transformation, psychic awareness, interpretation, associated with higher realms, intuition, and transcendence, often linked to those who've reached higher spiritual plane. Pink orbs, I was almost done. Pink orbs, love, compassion, comfort. Interpretation typically represents gentle, loving energy, possibly a spirit of a loved one or a presence offering reassurance. Black or dark orbs, mystery, unresolved energy, protection, or warning, not always negative, but may indicate heavy, stagnant, or protective energy, sometimes interpreted as a spirit guarding a space or processing past trauma. And then multicolored orbs is complex layered energy. Orbs are thought to represent highly developed multidimensional beings, combining multiple purposes, healing, guidance, and balance. I will jump to blue orbs, but I wanted to just share this one too because it has something more about it. Throws some more on there about shadow figures and full body apparitions. Shadow figures, I want to throw this on because we do a thing about it. And after Heather, I'm sure you are aware of this. Dark humanoid silhouettes, sometimes fleeting, sometimes stationary, often seen out of the corner of one's eyes. Thought to be spiritual entities existing between realms, not always negative, but often misunderstood. May indicate residual energy from traumatic or intense events. Some believe they are watchers or protectors, while others feel they are low vibration entities feeding on fear or emotion. Common varieties: the Hat Man, a tall shadow wearing hat, often linked to warnings or major life transitions, or the crawler or slender forms lower. This is the second variety is crawler or slender forms, lower energy entities, possibly parasitic or fear based. So if you see a hat man's not always linked to negatives, but if you see a crawler or a slender form, then that one is probably someone who's leeching off of your fear.
Well,
So
that was what followed Janice, I think, out, wasn't it? A crawling form.
Yeah.
I don't know, standing upright and walking. I think it
It
was.
was standing up.
Yeah,
I thought we
I
thought it
thought
was a
it was
dog.
just walking out. Like I
Um,
don't know.
I guess I'm gonna have to go back and watch the video again.
and there's some more on there. I encourage you guys. I mean,
So what is the blue?
ChatGPT. There's some cool things in there. Let's see. The blue. Let me jump back up to it. Blue was calm, healing, cation, and truth. That's the meaning of the blue orbs, and it says interpretation associated with spiritual guidance, tranquility, and protection. Often thought to appear during prayer, meditation, and moments of emotional clarity.
Does that kind of
Do you
match
see a
up with
lot of
what you?
Do you see a lot of blue orbs, Matthew? Does that match up with when you see them?
Yeah, I've seen a lot. Yeah, especially out here. And I'll be honest with you, since I've been out here, my anxiety levels have been down like
That's
100%.
interesting. Yeah, that is
You know,
interesting.
Are you still
what,
in the Bible Belt? Yeah, you
Yeah.
Tennessee is what you're talking about. Yeah, I mean, I would wonder. I would think that people, if they're spirits and orbs, that they're probably more at rest or at peace. So,
Well, that's like an old ancient Indian ground, right?
Yes, they found arrowheads. There's a few of the people out here that said they saw Indians, of which I don't know if that's true or not, because I haven't been here long enough to really assess everything.
Right.
But the longer I'm here, the more I'm going to dig deep into it and see what I can find and try to work. I will say whatever is here is totally cool of what we're doing,
Yeah.
because I haven't felt anything, especially in the cave. I haven't felt anything bad.
right. And
Like as I said, when I was at Shore Mountain Distillery, obviously something did not want me there. It hated my guts. I mean, it made me sick.
You felt the
Um,
negative energy.
Absolutely. I mean, I can feel it from 2 miles away pulling into the property. I mean, it's very intense,
Do
you
you
but did
know?
you
feel
ever see
better?
the
So you're
orbs there?
healthier
now that you're not there?
Oh, yeah. When I was there, I'll be honest with you guys, I felt like I was dying. I went to the hospital. I was like, do I have cancer? Like, what's going on? Like, when I left that property, I felt so much better. And all my health issues lifted
Yeah.
after that. I was fine.
But did you see orbs there around you? Did you see?
Oh,
or
no,
was
there I
just the
saw
blue?
shadow figures. There I saw black shadow figures. I
Yeah.
saw the crawlers you was talking about. I mean,
and that's what they say is that
that
they
place is
leech
just
off your
bad.
energy. I mean,
Yeah,
that
that
would
makes
make
sense.
sense.
Oh yeah, it was. That was. I mean, I feel like I mean, honestly, I feel like they was killing me. I couldn't breathe when I was there.
That's crazy. That makes me
So,
nervous to go
Matthew,
the
where
Yeah, I
have
will never
you?
go back.
Like, I know that I really don't understand. Like, where do you get your learnings from? Are you just learning from experience? Is there someone guiding you? Like, your knowledge of this and the seekers, where is it coming from? Personal
I've
experience?
learned from my experience of doing different investigations with some of my people,
Yeah.
and I've done a lot of reading online, and I've talked to a lot of other people in the industry because I've been to a lot of conventions, and a lot of people talk to me about different experiences. But
Yeah.
firsthand of some of the stuff that I experienced for myself, that's all I need to know. What I've seen and what I've felt, that's all I need to know.
Right,
Right.
right. Yeah,
And I'm afraid to
100%.
experience or to reach out to people I don't know. Like, I don't want to share with too much with people I don't know because I don't want to open a door. Because sometimes even shaking somebody's hands, you're like, something just didn't feel right about that. Like, you don't know what they could pass on to you. And I'm
Oh yeah,
probably getting too deep in the woods here for that.
absolutely.
But just because
Sometimes
somebody's
just
in
a
church
look from
doesn't mean
somebody at
that they can't.
Denny's and you know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I believe some people have negative stuff attached to them because some
Yeah,
people I've met throughout my career in haunt seekers, I'm like, I just don't want to be around this person. Like I can just feel something is latched to them, and wherever it is wants to suck the life out of me, and I'm good.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Not even necessarily something that they've done. It's just something about them. I get that too.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do
All right,
more
Nanny
research, like I
Janny.
said.
On those notes, share with us your paranormal story of the week.
My good. I think I can remember this from I don't think I have to read this, but I had two chose out and I
Okay.
think times currents. I'm gonna go with the we all love those spooky stories when you're in the room. Like Heather never liked them when she was little, but where you sit in the room and like you're with your friends or you tell them spooky stories to share at a sleepover or what have you not. This is based off a true story. A man had went into the we got some noise going on in the background back here. Sounds like
Yeah.
animals back there.
It's scaring you. Just to tell you a ghost story.
Here it goes.
When we were talking about orbs, I absolutely felt a presence behind me, so I I get that.
In the house, they're all over in that house. I tell you, they come down and visit me and go up. I see. It's like sometimes they just want to be on the camera downstairs. They're like whoop, 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 in front of the camera, like, "Hey, we miss you. Come back." Anyways, just like you, he puts his kids to bed, and his son will not go to bed without that good night kiss. Without he knows that he has to go in there and say, "Good night, I love you," but he's busy doing things, and he finally gets in there to the son, and something's not quite right. He can't put his finger on it, but he goes over to give. He peels the covers back to get, and the son has a big old smile on his face, and he's like, you know, "What you got going on there? Are you thinking about tomorrow's events?" And he's like, "No, but can you check on the monster under my bed?" And then when he begins to look under the bed, his son's under the bed. Says, "Daddy, I think there's a monster in my bed."
That's creepy. Was that real?
That's a real story. That's a real story.
That's pretty spooky.
Yeah.
Are you sure that's a
Well,
real
so go back
story?
to Heather. If you go back to remember Jesslyn? Remember Jesslyn when she was tucked under the
Yeah.
bed with all the stuffed toys, or dolls, like
Yeah.
and the carrot top? Tell that story real quick.
So we have actually there's a picture of this too. But this girl, my little cousin, and I was like 16 and she was like 2, and she would tell her parents that like she would wake up and she's under her bed, and in the daytime she couldn't put herself under the bed. But her parents would be like, "How did you get under the bed at night?" And she'd say, "My carrot put me under there. My carrot put me under there." And everything was her carrot. For whatever reason, her imaginary friend was her carrot. And they didn't really think nothing of it. For one night, I'm there babysitting her, and there's a knock at the door, and there's a little girl outside. And this little girl is kind of creepy looking, but she's just a little girl. She's kind of homely looking. And she's got her hair's cut really, really short, and it's all different angles, almost like they just took scissors and just chopped it. But she said, "Hey, is the little girl, can I come in and play with the little girl, your baby?" And I said, "Oh, yeah." Her parents aren't here right now. Well, Jesslyn comes running to the door, and she said, "Oh, yeah, come in." She came in like she knew the place, like she'd been there before. Jesslyn greeted her like she knew her, and I don't care if she's there, so I'm fine with it. And this was back in the day when there was the disposable cameras, right? So I had like 3 film slots left before I could take it to get it developed. And I just took pictures real quick. "Jesslyn's pose with your friend." The little girl left shortly before my aunt and my uncle came home, and I had forgotten. We never made any mention of it. I never talked to them about the little girl being over. It wasn't a big deal. It wasn't a secret. It just wasn't a big deal. And until I developed the pictures, and my aunt's going through it, and she's like, "Heather, who's this?" I said, "You don't know who that is because that little girl was over here playing with Jesslyn. She knew the whole house. She knew everything." And they said, "I've never seen this girl in my life." And we asked Jesslyn, "Jesslyn, who is this?" And she's, "My carrot, my carrot. That's my carrot." Oh, it was, till this day, we have no idea who this girl is, but we got a picture of her. And
Right.
apparently it's her carrot,
So
her imaginary friend.
when I was reading this story, I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's his carrot. That's the same." So it happens more,
So
maybe a
creepy.
child being like thinking back to my friends that I had that went everywhere with me, knowing now that they weren't alive or weren't real or they were imaginary, however you want to put it. And you just think how many kids actually experience that and don't realize, or at some point in time you
Yeah.
outgrow it. I'm not for sure, and the parents don't realize it. But when I was reading this story, it's like, oh my gosh, it's the same. It does happen. There's too many stories of it. There's too many stories, similarities of children seeing these things. So, and I don't know that very many have had pictures, but I think we need to
What
save
would
those
that be
pictures.
called though? Is that a
Scary.
humanoid? Like if they take on like I don't know if I can handle that. If I go to tuck my
No.
kids in and see a ghost figure in their spot, no. That would be a mental thing for me that I would not be able to come back from.
Right, right. Burn the house.
Get too narrow. Yeah. Yes, 100%. Ugh,
Well,
creepy.
it
All
was
right,
hard, like I
before
said,
we
to
let
miss
the
him.
interview end, I've got a couple of questions for you. We're going to play a game of Would You Rather. So, Matt, we'll start with you. Matthew Tucker, we'll start with you. Would you rather wake up to find an alien standing slightly at the foot of your bed or a ghost whispering your name inches from your ear?
A ghost whisper in my ear,
A ghost whispering in your ear. What about
which
you?
I've had
Go ahead. You've had a ghost whisper in your ear?
many times.
Have you had an alien at the
Really?
foot of your bed?
Not yet, but it'd be cool if I did.
Don't get me started on aliens. It's a whole other show. I'm convinced I had an alien at the foot of my bed. What about you, Tony? A ghost whispering in your ear or an alien at the foot of your bed? Okay, Travis, would you rather be abducted by extraterrestrials or erase your memory or Would you rather be abducted by aliens who would erase your memory afterwards, or haunted by a spirit who never lets you sleep alone again? Stop it. What about you, Alicia? What would you rather? Be haunted by a spirit who never lets you sleep alone again, or be abducted by an alien?
But they erase your
Yeah, we
memory.
don't remember.
So
Yeah,
we
I'll
probably
take
had
the
that
alien.
happen too.
I would take
Yeah,
the alien
pretty
as
sure.
well.
Pretty sure that's happened. Matt, would you rather see your reflection smile back at you when you're not smiling, or hear your own voice calling from another room when you're home alone?
Hear my own voice calling from another room.
Do you know that these are real
Yeah.
things that people have? This is like I went down a whole TikTok rabbit hole of people experiencing this. And
Is
like
that not
there's
crazy?
yes, like the mirrors
There,
smiling, like this girl's like trying to catch her mirror smiling at her. It's creepy. Go
That
on a
was
TikTok rabbit hole, mirror smiling back at you.
yeah,
I
that
think it'd
is
be
a
pretty freaky to see myself smiling back in the mirror.
Sometimes you just stare at your I don't know if everybody I just stare at myself in the mirror too much and I scare myself. Like not that's not down putting me. It's just I will start to freak myself out if I stare at myself too much. I've been that way since even when I was a cute little girl, I've always scared myself in the mirror. Okay,
that was one
Alicia,
of
would
the
you rather discover hidden? That
I
was
was
one
gonna
of the
say
what?
that was one of the things that ChatGPT had created on that list of orbs. I'm just gonna throw that out real quick. One of the things was mist or smoky figures, which it said if they're cloud-like shapes, often white, gray, or bluish, appearing in persons or in photos. It says often interpreted as a spirit manifesting partially. White mist is peaceful, protective energy, and dark mist is heavy or negative energy trying to form. But it says the next one, it says reflective in mirrors or glass. A shadow or face-like shapes seen behind or beside you in your reflections are thought to be spiritual portals reflecting energy between realms. A figure might represent someone trying to communicate or an energy attached to a space. I just thought it was funny that ChatGPT brought that up, but so it's not really relevant, but it is kind of creepy that is it is believed in a lot of
It's
cultures
a
that
thing.
mirrors
Yes,
are a
like I didn't
realm, and there's a reason that that's a
when
thing.
you're on haunted TikTok, like it gets kind of scary. Just like normal things you'd have in your house. Alicia, would you rather discover hidden footage of yourself sleeping every night for the past year, or find a note in your own handwriting that you don't remember writing that says "Don't trust them"?
I would have to say the note.
You'd rather find the
I'd
note,
rather find a note that I wrote. Yeah.
Then the what?
A note that I wrote that I would
What was it?
or find
I've
hidden
seen.
footage of yourself
I don't
sleeping for a
want
year.
yeah.
Chris used to
That's
have a whole
creepy.
roll of Amber sleeping for a year, and we're like, "What the heck is that, Chris? Like, why do you have so many
Yeah.
pictures of Amber sleeping?" It's a
Yeah,
thing.
get the match.
Would you rather be trapped, Janice? This is for you. Would you rather be trapped for 24 hours in an abandoned asylum where the spirits can touch you, or lost in the woods where you keep seeing lights or shadows that vanish when you look directly at them?
That one.
I don't know. I think I could handle the asylum better because I know where I'm at. We're in the woods.
Should
I
be
feel like
used to
I'd be like
going.
I feel like I would panic in the woods, but if I'm
Yeah.
in an asylum, something about the enclosed walls would make me feel more peaceful. But I don't know, like the cave thing that they're running at Mountain Mayhem, that makes me nervous. Can this make me not even has nothing to do with spirits in the cave or even haunted attractions in the cave. It is just being in the cave scares me. Is that
You guys are in Cookville, right?
Yeah.
Come on down. We'll take you for a tour. I think you guys will love it.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Wait,
have to
I'm gonna
try
go.
when my you want to go? Yeah. They're in California, but I'm in Cookville.
I want to say
Would you
with
rather
the wood, like I've been dropped off or not dropped. Yeah, dropped off in the woods. We've, as part of our excursions and stuff or part of our military
Yeah.
experiences, we've been in the middle of nowhere. I think I'd rather be in a building where I know I'm at. I'm at this building on this street and this address with these freaky people than somewhere you have to find your way out again, looking for those markers. Just saying.
I'm gonna got one more. Would you rather have the ability to see ghosts but never speak to them, or speak to them but never see them coming?
Who are you asking?
Yeah.
All
We
of
ask
you.
him.
You want to see ghosts or
I'd
talk to
rather
them?
speak to him. I'd rather speak to him.
Or
I feel like I see
You
them
can speak
now
to
and
them, but
can't
you
speak
never
to
know when they're
them.
gonna show up. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. And then they just pop up like in random times, like, "Hey, I'm
Right.
here." Like, I don't know.
And
I
you
don't
don't
know
know
if I
what
want to
the
talk
what the
to any of
purpose of them showing up. Like, what's the communication? At least if you could speak. I feel like I see, if not ghost orbs, like I've seen enough different shapes. I just don't know what they mean. And then I'm afraid to ask people what it, like I said, I'm afraid to open that portal up. So yeah, but
What
if
do you
something's
think,
talking to you,
Matthew? Would you rather talk to them or just see them?
I would rather just see them because that's easier for me.
Yeah. easier
But
for you to
doesn't the
handle, not
curiosity get you sometimes? Like, why are you here? What do you want?
what makes me nervous is when they think, like I've shared this before. I don't know where you're at on your spiritual journey, Matthew, but it makes me nervous. Like I think Robin was sharing with me that she speaks to her, like she believes that her mom comes through on these calls or whatever. And I'm like, I don't believe that anything good is trying to talk to you. Like I'm hopeful that the people that I love are in heaven and not down here trying to communicate with me on the boxes. But but I don't know, and I could be way wrong on that, and
I told her, "You don't believe it because, it could be
yeah,
they're trying to imitate."
they're gonna
Right.
tell you what you wanna hear to so we used to have kids at the party barn that would do the little voice boxes, and this girl was so obsessed to get to work. I've never seen somebody so excited to come to work, and she's like, "No, I can't wait because we're gonna go do the voice box upstairs." I said, "Well, no, you're clocked in, you're on the clock, you're not gonna go do the voice box upstairs." She said, "Well, no, my grandma's talking to me." And I'm like, "Honey, that is not your grandma." Well, then I offended her, and I don't wanna offend anybody, and like Tony had said last time, just know to let her feel comfortable. If she thinks she's talking to her mom, let her feel comfortable. I want you to be safe and comfortable and not be dragging demons into your world.
Or into our business?
Yeah. But but I whatever brings people comfort, I get, but I just don't know. I wouldn't if my mom had passed, I don't know that I would want my mom coming through to talk to me, but I feel like she absolutely would be writing names and stuff on my mirrors.
Yes, I already told them all. Yes, you see the writing on the mirror. That's. But I do want to say, like, I don't know. Like, I knew my brother passed before he passed. He came to me. It was in the middle of the night, and we were in a fuss, and we had been I wasn't talking to him for a dumb reason. And he tried to explain himself to me at the last time I talked to him. I didn't let him explain because, I just didn't. Well, then he was killed in a car accident, and it was in the middle of the night, and he came. I was on a deployment, and he came real close, and he wanted to talk. And I was kind of sleepy, but kind of like I knew it was real that he was there, and I was like, cannot deal with this right now. I just can't. You know. And I did another one. I blessed you with the blood of the lamb. Go towards the light. And it was kind of like a dream. It was not. I didn't think it was real. I thought I was dreaming something. And then the next morning, I got a phone call saying that my brother had passed away. So that's the only one that I could say that I do believe that I've seen or heard from after they pass. But I haven't had anybody in my family that I'm aware of that's come because I don't hear them. I
I
can see
think
things.
I do I don't know nothing about this and I try to stay away from it, but I do feel like there is a difference, maybe a spiritual cross, some type of there's a difference between somebody coming as a final like goodbye moment, or even in your dreams or even physical. Betty has seen that my husband's aunt has said that she's seen her dad after he passed away. I do believe that there might be a couple of incidents like that that may be just a transition period. But as far as, like, coming and communicating with you daily on these ghost apps, that makes me nervous. That
Right.
makes me
Yeah, me
nervous.
too. I'm really afraid of opening, I believe in God, I believe in Jesus Christ, but I also believe there's Satan. And I think if you have for lack of a portal to heaven, there's a portal to hell. And I don't want to open that up.
Yeah. Yeah. On that note, my friends, if you're still listening, obviously, we've said something that's piqued your interest. Matthew, we just wanna thank you so much for
I know,
being
I'm
on
so
the
excited.
show. If people wanted to reach out to you, where do they find you?
So they can find us on the Haunt Seekers Unlimited Facebook page, or they can send us an email through the website, and the website is gonna be hauntseekers.com.
Is it just seasonal or is it all year long?
Yes, all year long.
Yeah, they're doing their paranormal investigations, they said, at Mountain Mayhem all year long. You can come by anytime. And how do they set up for these haunt reviews? Like, what do you have to do for that?
So typically, with the reviews, the haunted house owners have to reach out to us on the Facebook or on not the Facebook, the website. We have certain forms that they have to fill out for us to come out because we have a huge waiting list every season. So it might take us probably three. I mean, it's got to a point to where it might take us 3 years to get to a haunt.
Yeah.
Wants us to get out there, but we usually try to play fair on things. We try to get the next haunt that was in line from the previous year.
And so so they can just reach out to you and then is it like a badge of honor to have the haunt review from Haunt Seekers or like
Absolutely,
what
of
do they
course.
is it no, I'm just saying like how do you pitch it to them? Like how
So having us out at a haunt is a very, I mean, I would consider it a big deal because considering how many haunts we go to and how
yeah,
much we do in the industry.
that's exciting.
I will tell you when we went to Red Vein, they had us all go to the huddle session, and they had all 90 of their actors in the back huddle, and they was doing like they were preaching to the actors before they went in, and the owner got on the microphone saying, "Haunt Seekers Unlimited.
Oh,
I'll give them a good show tonight." No, we were standing in the back. We put our hands up. It was pretty cool.
yeah. I can't wait. I do go to California, or do you just do the southern states, or you just
So we haven't made it that far west yet because I'm kind of focusing on the East Coast right now.
yeah.
We'll probably be here for some time because there's a lot of haunts on the East Coast that I want to see.
Maybe listeners can interested in expanding. Maybe you can get some people out there to be your haunt seekers on the West Coast for you.
Absolutely, we always welcome people with open arms, and we love seeing people come in and do what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to be a haunt seeker. I love this, especially now that I don't have a home haunt in Tennessee. I just need to travel and do other haunts and review.
We'll be more than happy to have you. And if you ever, like I said, if you guys are ever free in the next week or 2 weeks, we'll fire the paranormal tour up, and we'll be happy to talk to you guys in person.
Yeah, we should set up something for sure. All right, my friends, if you're still listening, obviously we've said something that's piqued your interest. We're going to ask that you follow us on all of your social media platforms. If you have anything you'd like to add or contribute to the show, send us an email at hauntafterhours@gmail.com. In the meantime, let's stay connected, and remember,
Do
Do
it
it
for
for
the
the
haunt.
haunt.